Hey, Gabby, guess what? Okay, you're Drew. You're not Gabby. Anyways, Drew, guess what?
What, Owen?
We have the whole show to ourselves again. There was no writer's room, so that means I get to write the script again.
So you're telling me you skipped writer's room again?
No, plans fell through, and we just ended up not having one. Thank you to everyone who reached out last week asking to join.
Why did you say it like that? Sounds like you're kind of salty.
Of course not.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your host, Drew One.
And I'm Owen DeWeese, co-host, writer, and jean jacket bro.
God, can you please stop doing that? That whole thing, just...
Yes. How has your week been treating you, Drew?
Oh, you know, pretty good. Got classes, and then D&D, and The Real Deal. You know, just, the grind never stops. Well, maybe you would know, but...
What's that supposed to mean? Of course, I know how the grind goes.
Sure you do. If by the grind you mean not doing anything all week until our producers ask you to do something, kind of like that.
Fair enough. I'm going to have to ask for this first segment to start. Take it away, Nathan.
Hello, I'm Nathan Hill, and welcome to Something for Nothing, the segment in which I teach you about places where you can find movies, games, and entertainment for free. Another week brings another streaming service, and this week we're focusing on IMDb TV. A free alternative to owner Amazon's own Prime Video service, this service arguably features a fuller library of TV than its paid counterpart, composed mostly of a healthy mix of programs from the 2000s. Many have called the 2000s the golden age of television because of the decade's prestige dramas on cable channels like AMC, HBO, and Showtime. Fans will be pleased to find that the major torchbearers for this generation of television, Mad Men and Lost, are featured on the service in their entirety, joined by the comedic king of single-camera sitcoms, Malcolm in the Middle, which also has all 9 of its seasons represented. In addition, the reality television programs that rose to prominence during this era of television are here in droves. Hell's Kitchen, Project Runway, Forsenic Files, and the ever-infamous Duck Dynasty are all available to stream, among many others. That isn't to say that there aren't movies worth watching on the service, however. Napoleon Dynamite, Die Hard, and the early Arnold Schwarzenegger flick Predator are here, as is cult DreamWorks' favorite Rise of the Guardians. In animation news, anime fans won't find any of the new trendy shows that they might find on paid services, but there's a surprising amount of classic films available to stream, mostly comprised of science fiction works. 80s films Space Adventure Cobra and Arcadia of My Youth are examples of the genre at its dramatic peak, while Urusei Yatsura, Beautiful Dreamer, takes a much more comedic spin on the same sci-fi conventions. In addition, 1995's Memories is available on the service, a sci-fi anthology film from the same team that took anime to a whole new international height with 1992's Akira. While the service can't compare to the vast library of NBC shows provided by Peacock, I will admit that I'm pleasantly surprised by the selection on offer by IMDb TV. I know that most of Gen Z missed out on cultural touchstones like Mad Men and Lost by a matter of a few years, while other series like Hell's Kitchen and Forsenic Files enjoy a healthy dosage of reruns on channels to this day. So whether you're watching something new to you or catching up on an old favorite, IMDb TV is a service worth checking out. Now, that being said, Sopranos beats out Mad Men any day in my book. But I'm Nathan Hill, and you get what you pay for.
Beautiful.
You know, I never really appreciated the beauty and narrative importance of the segments until I started doing this show.
Well, to be fair, without the segments, we'd have no structure at all. The in-between scenes with you and Gabby are just to fill the time slots.
So before and after we film, we just cease to exist?
What? No, you know that.
Well, as far as our viewers know, that's exactly what happens.
Look, I promise you the viewers are a bit more smarter than that.
That's reassuring. I almost thought I'd need to start going back to church.
Owen, you really concern me sometimes. Like, I wonder how you function. Whatever.
Anyways, Drew, what is the craziest thing that you have seen in a class so far?
Boy, craziest thing? Well, I don't know if you know this. I'm a senior. I think craziest thing is the fact that I'm a TCOM, well, I guess it's called media now, major. So, I don't have to take math a lot. So I took my one general elective class of math, freshman year. I think it was like quantitative reasoning, pretty simple stuff. So and then I pick up a political science minor and, now we're doing math again? I'm in a statistical analysis class and we're having to write a paper and along with that just do a bunch of math that I did in high school. And I was like not expecting this to happen at all. And now I'm having to do a lot of math and it's not very good. But that's about crazy as it gets for me. But what about you?
Yeah, that sounds really crazy, Drew. But I can't really think of anything too crazy. Since this is just my first semester, I haven't really had any of the cool classes yet, just the prereqs.
It sucks to be you.
I guess. At least I get to have some more interesting classes next semester. I'm officially going to be one of those philosophy jerks, despite not knowing anything about philosophy.
Sounds like a great fit for you.
Speaking of faking it to make it, let's hand the mic over to our next segment, and our cameras too, I guess.
Hey guys, it's your pal, Sarah. I'm happy to say that I finally got to see The French Dispatch, directed by Wes Anderson. If you have seen any of his movies before, I'm sure you've noticed the whimsical and aesthetically pleasing way they make you feel. From Fantastic Mr. Fox to the Grand Budapest Hotel, they are all mesmerizing. Well, this film did not fall short. With the change between black and white and the amazing color palette throughout the movie and the equally amazing set, I could not take my eyes off the screen the entire time. The movie follows 4 reporters writing from a fictional town in France for a newspaper in Kansas. With an anthology-like structure, Wes Anderson has created a beautiful and heartwarming movie. The first story was a short description of the town by Owen Wilson's character. Next, Tilda Swinton's character writes a story about an imprisoned and insane painter who falls in love with his prison guard. Then, Frances McDormand's character follows Timothée Chalamet in amidst of a youth revolution. Lastly, Jeffrey Wright's character finds himself in the middle of a kidnapping story while writing about a famous chef. While The French Dispatch wasn't showing in Muncie, I was able to go see it in Indy, and honestly, I can't wait to see it again. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it, and I would expect it to be nominated for a few awards coming up this year. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for listening, and back to your hosts.
You ever wonder what happened to Harrison?
I like to think he's just taking a break and that he'll be back. I mean, how could he resist? How could he resist singular hosts like us?
Well, that's a good point. We are pretty great in our jean jackets right now.
I know. Well, since I couldn't think of anything else to write in the script, would you like to improv some more, or would you like to just head over to the final word?
I would just like to mention that our head writer is angrily staring at you right now.
Okay, the script says I definitely deserve that. I am actually the worst, and Kat is the best.
That's what it says, pretty much, so. Other than that, I don't know. We just toss this off to a final word. Do something like that.
Boring.
Okay, now the teleprompter's going down. Okay, well, we were just there. Final word, possibly. Time slot, filler. Okay. Final
Awesome,
words.
that's what I like to see.
Yeah.
Hey folks, today I'm going to be talking about the 2001 classic Super Troopers. I only just recently watched it, so since it's fresh in my mind, I can confidently say that this is one of the dumbest and funniest movies that I've ever seen. The movie follows a squad of Vermont state troopers who patrol a 50-mile section of highway, and they're constantly in a fight with the town's local police department to see who's better. The funny thing is that both departments are terrible at doing their job, but they both think they're better than the other. The movie mainly follows the troopers, this is a long one, get ready, Lieutenant Arco Ramathorn, played by J. Chandrasekhar, sorry if I said that wrong, Rabbit Rhoda, played by Eric Stolhansky, Mac Womack, played by Steve Lemmy, and Carl Foster, played by Paul Soder. Great job, me. Way to pick a movie. And those guys all specialize in playing practical jokes on motorists who are either high or just caught the troopers on a bad day. And they play pranks on each other, of course, rather than enforcing the law. They particularly enjoy tormenting fellow trooper Rodney Farva, played by Kevin Heffernan, a cocky and overzealous officer who has been suspended from the road for an unknown reason. The movie starts getting crazy when little bits and pieces of a huge drug trafficking ring shows up around the highway, and the troopers try to uncover the secrets. However, the local police are also doing that. So they butt heads a bunch of times, leading into huge fights like the one in Anchorman, so those are pretty funny. The movie's great, and although the plot makes pretty much no sense, it's a great watch and you definitely should watch it. So let's do some trivia. There's a scene where the troopers are in a diner and they decide to have a syrup drinking contest, maple syrup drinking contest. When I was watching it, my girlfriend said, "Please tell me that's not real syrup." So I looked it up, and sure enough it was. They chugged a few bottles of actual maple syrup. There's also a scene where Ram Thorne is typing on a computer and saying "enhance" repeatedly. That's a reference to Blade Runner, which I've talked about on here before. There's also a scene where Rabbit was stuffed in a locker covered in shaving cream, and he was actually covered in menthol shaving cream. The crew did not know that menthol burns skin if it's left on the skin for too long. After the scene, Eric Stolhansky was sent next door to a firehouse to get hosed off. So let's pass it on over to my jean jacket bro for his final word.
In the meantime, I wanted to talk about one of my favorite things that is something other than deep denim jackets. Me and Owen know how good we look right now.
That's right.
I wanted to talk about the show called Critical Role. Now, for those that are unaware about what this show is about, it is what they call a show where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. Now, the actual show started around 2015, where the group of voice actors streamed on the Twitch channel Geek and Sundry. Over time, they got more and more popular and later went on to stream on their own Twitch channel and in their very own studio, too. Before the streams, they all just decided to play together, as they all thought it would be really fun to do so. The cast consists of a lot of people some of you may know or have heard their voices in various video games and anime shows. There's Matthew Mercer, who is the DM for Critical Role, and is the one in charge of building the worlds that the rest of the cast plays in every week. And join him are Marisha Ray, Laura Bailey, Travis Willingham, Liam O'Brien, Ashley Johnson, Taliesin Jaffe, and Sam Riegel. I would say it has been close to almost 3 years since I first caught onto their show, and I've been hooked ever since. You are looking at right here a man that has been subscribed to their Twitch channel for just over 28 months now. The show has kept me hooked, and I absolutely have loved every story that they have told. It has been that one place I can go to and get away from the real world and just sit back and enjoy a bunch of voice actors joking and having fun playing a tabletop role-playing game. Now, as of right now, they're just starting on their third campaign. The previous two you can watch on their Twitch and YouTube channels right now, but it might be a little daunting to get into first. Just this last campaign alone was 141 episodes long. The episodes themselves could be anywhere from 3 to 7 hours long, which is crazy to think about when you see how many episodes there are. What I would recommend is that you take it at your own pace. Watch one a week, a month, or be like me and have nothing better to do and watch maybe 2 or 3 a day. Whatever you choose to do, just make sure to enjoy it. What first brought me to finally give it a chance and watch it was that I knew the voice actors before and really just wanted to watch all of them interact with one another and goof away. Seriously, some of the funniest stuff I've ever watched was from that show. Add the level of storytelling and world building Matt Mercer can create and the various characters the rest of the role play, and you seriously have something very special. Nobody really does it as well as them. Another awesome thing to note is that they're coming out with their very own animated series, Legend of Vox Machina, where the whole cast plays as their very own characters that they made in the first campaign. It is confirmed that 2 seasons will premiere on Prime Video, and I could not be more excited to watch that. I think that would be a great place to start for anyone that wants to get into the world of Critical Role. But that's all I got for you guys today.
As always, thank you for watching. If you want to hear, see, taste, or smell anything else from us here at The Real Deal, be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and our website for all things entertainment. I'm Owen DeWeese.
And I'm Jean Jacket Bro, Drew #1. See you next time on The Real Deal.